The false self is the person that we had to become in childhood to survive. If you came from parents who weren't well adjusted, who weren't mentally capable of dealing with your anger or your sadness or your hurt and your pain, if it was too much for them, they were going to take you out of your feelings and not let you have them. You cut off your anger and your sadness and your disappointment and you put it away and you became a nice person, people pleaser to survive in that house. You're not yourself. You don't pursue the things that you want to pursue. You do not become the person that you know that you are. You became what everybody around you needed you to be. The way to dismantle the false self is to start feeling the feelings that we have to cut off to survive. We have to start feeling our sadness, our hurt, our pain, our anger, our disappointment, our shame, our humiliation. Yeah, sounds like a fun deal, but what's the alternative? You're living somebody else's life. You're living to get that validation back by pretending to be something that people want you to be. You don't like rejection, you don't like disappointment, you feel so bad about yourself that you can't have anybody else looking at you negatively, that you become what people need you to be. The people that are around you, you figure out almost unconsciously what they need you to be, and you become that. You self-abandon who you are, what you believe, what you feel, just so that you look good to others. To dismantle the false self, we have to go into the hurt and the pain and the sadness and the anger and the shame, and we have to start feeling it. For me not to feel any of that, I have to pretend to be what you need me to be. And I'm tired of fucking pretending. Like, I just can't do it anymore. You like me, you don't like me, I really don't care. But I had to go into my self-hate and my shame and my pain and my anger. And I had to get in touch with it, and I have to express it, and I have to feel it. I have to expose myself to it, as painful as it is. And the way this started for me was, if I show up 100% for somebody else, I had to consciously knock that down to like 98 or 95%, and I had to learn how to slowly start saying no. When I did, my body and my nervous system went off the rails, and I spent weeks and months trying to nurse myself through it, trying to make myself okay without being perfect, without showing up 100%. And I just kept repeating that process, because showing up for people wasn't a choice, it was a compulsion, just not to feel bad about myself. Like, if I didn't please everybody around me, I was completely in my own self-hate. And that's a shitty way to live, because you're never living your own life. So to dismantle the false self, you have to start feeling the feelings you weren't allowed to have that created it. And you can do it. I've been working on this for a very long time, and there's very little pain, there's very little sadness, and there's very little self-hate left in my body, because I stopped self-abandoning to show up for others, and I started showing up for myself and dealing with the feelings that I thought I couldn't deal with. And a lot of people don't want to start doing this work because they're afraid that they're going to spiral out of control. They feel like they're going to go insane. They're feeling like if they open up that valve of sadness, that they're never going to get out of it. And it may last a week, it may last a month, it may last a couple of years. But I would rather do the hard work all at once and get it out of the way than live with the dull ache of shame and sadness the rest of my life. So take some time, lay down, get quiet with yourself and your body, and start to feel what's going on. Figure out where it went wrong. We cannot fix something that's broken until we know where it's broken and why. And you're not going to do that by people pleasing. You're not going to do that by avoiding your feelings. So get in there. You're already strong. You survived this long burying the feelings, cutting them off, and disassociating. But now you have to be brave, and you have to be courageous, and you have to get in there and face that fear. Have at it.